So end of the day, you're all in good shape that you can write any kind of a SQL in any database. That is what is important. Whatever we are learning now, you do it anywhere, it should work fantastic. You need not open only Oracle. If you have your NoSQL server installation, go try it. If it does not work, come and complain it to me so that I will try to address the situation why it did not work, because this is very much of SQL. So let's see. I'm trying to recap the last week's session so that you have the topics in mind, and then we'll proceed from there. So it's the same intense training, I think so, and I'm making the learning mechanism as a very adaptive technique that you relate it to your regular or daily activities so that you remember the SQL, and also entertaining presentation. I'm trying to be as much entertaining as possible. I'm not sure if you enjoy it. Few people might not, few people are very serious. Few people are very jovial. It is also dependent on your mood. Late in the night, I cannot ask Nanda Prasad to be giggling at me because he's already sleepy. If I ask him to give me a smile, then he will give a nerd smile instead of regular. It's like that. So last week, whatever we have discussed, we jumped into the topics of RDBMS, where you see all these relationships between all the tables that we have created within a schema. So we are not using this particular schema, whereas we are using the employee database schema, but more or less the relationships are the same. There is no difference. So let us keep looking at what kind of where were we on the RDBMS topics last week. So we started knowing about RDBMS, which means it's a relational database. There will be connections between two tables and then indexes on top of it. That's where we started. So you all know that now DDL, DML, and DCL are the languages. DCL we haven't looked at it. Today we'll be covering DCL also. But DDL and DML, now you are very much aware that how to create a table, how to add a column or alter a table or drop a table, And the DML operations like select, insert, and delete are already shown to you. Update will be shown to you today because update is also very important. We keep updating our knowledge, same as in the database, we'll have to keep updating data all the time. And then followed by the static, and dynamic execution, which I think static is okay, but dynamic I'll have to, cover it starting today, which means you will make the Oracle SQL to prompt for user input. So now you all are aware of a structured query language. It's a very simple statement. A select class, a from class, a where class, and modify makes a simple structured query language. So this is the sample SQL we have gone through, and we know that how the results will be. And domain types in SQL, which means the data types, it's nothing other than data types, but in SQL they are specifically given a terminology with a domain type. Whether it is domain or data type, it's the same. And then we spoke about not null and primary keys. Not null, I have to, give you more information today. I'll be doing it. But primary key, now you're all aware that, you can put in a primary key constraint on a table, which will take care of on data not getting duplicated. Because literally, I gave you examples and have shown you, demonstrated you that you cannot enter a duplicate with a primary key. This will be followed by, this was followed by, we have inserted a couple of records into the tables that we have created. We dropped the table, we have, added, modified it. Everything was clear. And then I have given you a good explanation about, distinct class, where class, from class, the string operations. String operation is the same as the TV9 string operation every day we see on the television. So I think I have explained you in a way that you can relate what is a string operation, that it need not be a perfect a word that you'll have to give in the where class. Instead, if you put a like and then give it a character, percentile or underscore, then it will pick up. And then we all have to, order the data to be in a required format, so that we can look at the data as it is wanted, and we can display the data as it is required. And then we went into the union, the insert, and except. I don't think I have explained you the except, but it's okay. Union and intersection are the two important things that we need. And we went through aggregate functions of average, min, max, sum, count. You can do any of these aggregations in SQL. They are predefined SQL statements, followed by, we went with a group by class. You can group data on any kind of a dimension or any kind of a, you can use the numerics to be group, which means if you are using an aggregate function, you have to tell the SQL statement or the SQL engine to say if at all you want subgroupings or groupings on top of it. And then you have join relations. This is where last week we had trouble understanding the inner join. Now your mind can get it easily, and I can even give some fancy examples today how these inner joins work. So we are going to talk about one-to-many, many-to-one relationships so that you can easily relate and get what is this inner join, and how we can learn left outer join, right outer join, full outer join is a very important thing that you understand the inner join. So today I will start from this particular slide wherein I was talking about inner join, and today I will start the inner join again. I will show you how this inner join works, followed by the rest of the things of left outer and right outer. So I see Naresh Sriram is our new entry. Welcome, Naresh, and let's see how we can make progress on learning SQL today. So most of you, I think, gone through the videos of the last week. There is a very important announcement about the videos. We generally process these videos weekly basis and then move it to YouTube. So currently we have published the SQL 1 video already on YouTube. You should have got the link. And then the second video is already in process because it's taking a little longer to process because last week half of our staff were under leave. So, we're on holiday, so there is a little delay here. But today, end of the day, the last week's session will be available on YouTube, and the current week session, that is today's session, will be still on WebEx, and tomorrow's session also will be on WebEx. By next week, they'll all be moved to YouTube, and you can watch it on YouTube any number of times you want. The speed and capacity of YouTube server is better than any other, share. So you can actually use those videos for your future. We are also going to make it as a public video because this offer is for everyone. I want everyone who want to enter into data, learn SQL, and then start learning any tools like ETL tools without knowing the SQL and its format and how to do it. It's not that great to start learning data warehousing and a few other concepts. So, having said that, by this time I think you would have got the SQL, the DNS entry file, Lalita. You can try it out. If it works or if it doesn't work, please let me know. I can help you out. So let me share the full screen so that we don't have complaints on missing screens here. So right now, I was sharing only a presentation, but now I'm switching it to the entire screen, as I have to now log into the remote desktop for me to give a demonstration. So it's Z715 and the password is secret. So I'm getting in here. I'm getting into the remote server. It is the same kind of an client version that we are using. It's absolutely the same way. We can use SQL plus prompt. So I'm connecting here as Scott Tiger @ORCR. This is the same username password for all of you. If you get in there, now we have to one more time understand join. So anytime you open SQL, it visits to, a smaller window. So you have to go into properties, make it, bigger. So let me make it as 150 by 80. Then it should be suffice for us to proceed. So I'm just extending the window. I can go up to 150 in size, which is friendly. And then if I want, I can go up to 80 on the height, or 60 or 70 should also be okay. Just to be clear, just to have a clear visibility, I'll keep it 60. Okay. It says it would not expand, so that's fine. So here, in this, I'm going to write the same SQL statement as I did last week and see if you understand the inner join. And now I will proceed on to the outer joins and the full outer join also. So select star from EMP is a regular query which we write. You all know about it. So let me also do the set line 200. I'm typing it, but you still could not see. Bear with me here. Set pages 200, which will give me a little more space, see here. So buffer wise, it just shrinks the buffer. It is, fitting to the page. So this is the EMP table, and now we will query on a DEPT table. Okay. So EMP table and DEPT table. The only common thing between these two is department. A department number is what is common between these two tables. You can see here. The EMP table has departments and department numbers. Department table has department numbers, department names, and their location. So how do I visualize all together? So if you go back into mathematics, let me use Google. Google gives you a friendly picture, which can make you understand the relationships, because we are going into our 7th class mathematics. Trust me, I'm not teaching you anything new. We are going back into our 7th class mathematics, wherein you will see how these, relationships work. So let us see that. So intersection, union, and everything, you have learned it in your 7th standard. So I think it is called as sets and relations. This is, I remember it is in 7th class book. If you even now go and try to look at it, you will find it. The sets and relations is one of the chapters as part of the mathematics, in which they will try to explain the same operators, the same functionality that I'm trying to show here, how you join a couple of sets of data, or match the following, one to many, many to one. So let me see if I could find the picture that makes it easier for you to understand. Sorry, I'm scrolling really fast, but don't worry about it. We just need to go to a particular place wherein you understand what the sets and relations are. So first you'll have to look at this as an example. So compare it as a table A and B. So one is employee table, other is department table. So if you wanted to find out the intersection of these two, they are going to be like this. You see here. In this, whatever the common area you're getting, that is the query I try to explain as intersection. It is exactly same as whatever you're seeing here. And the union of it is a whole part of A and whole part of the B. But common sets between A and B is union. But the very important thing we have to go and learn about, joins, one to many and many to one join. So let me try to find here. So intersection and union are very simple things that you can understand, because here is what it is. You see here. These pictures will give you a good visibility on what is union. A union B is all of the A, the intersection of A and B, and the B. But you'll have to see the duplicates are avoided in union. That is what is very important. Is this something which is okay with you? I mean, if there are definitely unique sets, if A is completely having different data than B, and you are trying to union them together, then it gives you the right-hand picture, 15.10. Whereas if they have some common element, then the left-hand picture is the one which you have to put in mind, so that you understand what is union and what is intersection. After you understand this comes the one-to-many and many-to-one relationship. So I'm just scrolling it down too fast. Yes, I reached the place. See here. Look at here. This is exactly what we are doing as join. A and B, 2 joins 2, 4 joins 2, whereas 6 joins 2. How do they make this relationship? Why should 2 join with 2 in the other table? These are the sets. So if you look at it here, R is a roster form. Domain of R represents diagrammatically, the relationship. So 2, 2, 4, 2, 6, 2, 6, 3, all these are in relationship with each other. You can form relations between any of them. But the important thing you'll have to understand is, if there are common elements between 2 tables, then it is called as equality relationship. 2 can join with 2 directly, whereas 4 can join with the 2 very much indirectly, which means it's not an equi-join. So the joins we have are 2 types. Equi-joins that are also called as natural joins, whereas or inner joins. Equi-joins or inner joins is one type, and the other type is sorry, there is a little bit of noise because one of them should be joining on the call. I don't have capacity to mute them, but in general, a host should have rights to mute them. Shivarity is going to mute them, no worries. So, looking at these pictures, you are related to yourself, whether you can join one-to-one, one-to-many, one-to-n, that is all the possibility. So it is the same set of mathematics and the same sets and set operators are being used in SQL. If you see, this picture will demonstrate. Let us keep this picture here. Go back to our SQL prompt. You are going to do the same. You are exactly going to do the same. There is nothing new. So let me write a query here. Then you will understand why I say that we are exactly doing the same. Oh, now the window got expanded by itself without me doing it. That's fantastic. I don't know how it happened. Don't ask me. So it happened after I went back. I gave it some time. By the time I come back, it expanded my window. That's fantastic. So see here, look at the screen closing. Let me first use the clear screen. Okay, select. I'm selecting very few columns because just that you will understand. A.ename, you'll come to know what is A, what is B, comma, B.db. Dname or department. So let me just use a describe. When you don't know the column name, this is the easiest way. And now select A dot ename, comma, B dot dname from EMP A join. There is one other join which I am going to show you, but it is no more in use. But that join will still work. It has a backward compatibility. I will show you that. But that is not a very good way to join. That works only in R. But first I am showing you the universal method But for people who want the fancy Oracle method, I can also show you that. EMPA joins with the DEP2D on A dot DEP2 number equal to B dot DEP2 number. Now you look at it. It says Clerk's department is accounting, Jones' department is research, Watt's department is sales. There are three different departments in which these are all the employees that are working. So here you can see that accounting department has a one-to-many relationship. Research department has a one-to-many relationship. Sales department has a one-to-many relationship. That is quite clear. You can visually see that these are the relationships that are being pictorially represented in this particular diagram. If you see, this is a one-to-one, whereas this is kind of a one-to-many. C is related to X, C is also related to Z. Here, one is related to one in B and one is related to one in A. So, you might have a situation of one-to-many, which is the data will look like. Let us say I wanted to only see one-to-one relationship. But that is a scenario in which a person will have only one salary, isn't it? He cannot have multiple salaries. So let us go to the salary table. He can have appraisal once in a month or once in a year, not more than that. So you have something called as a bonus table. From bonus. Oh, there is no data. No worries. What other table we have? We can insert data into bonus, not a problem. But let us also see here, EMP table. You already have the salary here. Each person will have only one salary. Unless it is being incremented on a particular day, he will never have two salaries. That is one-to-one relationship. But each department has many employees. That is a one-to-many relationship. That is the exact thing in mathematics. It has been explained. So now the important thing for us is to understand, is there any department that does not have any employees so that I wanted to hire some of the employees? How do I do that? It's a very simple statement here. If you see here, all I'm going to do is modify the existing. So let me clear the screen one more time, which makes it visibly easy for you to understand. So in this particular query, if I go and make this as just as a very simple keyword called right join, now you enter it. You see it here. There is one other department called operations. It doesn't have any employee. This will give you an information that an outer join, here I mentioned it as a right outer join. That's still fine. The left outer join is going to, give data from EMP table, whereas a right outer join will give you data from department table that is not in relationship with employee table. So you look at it here. You can flip the right and left depending upon the tables that you have given. I have used the table EMP as first table and department as a second table on the right hand. And so I am giving it as a right outer. If I give as a left outer join, can anyone guess what will happen if I just change this as a left outer join? Any guess? I am changing the right to left. You guess what will happen now? What will be the result of this?
All the entries from employee table will be available.
Okay, and why does it make a difference when I say left outer?
Yeah, it will take all the entries of the left table, which is EMP.
Sure. So let me, you are right. Definitely you are right, but let us see how we can explain it to everyone. You see here, the left join I have taken has the same 14 records, but the inner join I have taken had also the same 14 records. Let me show you that. So now you'll clearly understand what is a left join, what is an inlet. You see here. You compare between this one and this one. They are the same foot in record. Now you tell me, Randa Prasad, why is it only displaying the same foot in record?
Because all employees are having departments right now.
Fantastic. So there is no employee without a department here. Select start from EMP. If you see, every employee belongs to a department. If at all you wanted to see how the left join works, all we need to do is insert into EMP values. So let me give a fancy employee number just for us to recognize it. It's all in capital, so let me also make it capital only. And then my job. So how many of you see, if I'm making a mistake in the insert statement, you'll have to correct me. I intentionally will make a couple of mistakes. So you are the one who has to correct me. So my manager is 7902, and then date is, I'm going to ask you a question on the date also. So you are the one who has to, let me know why is the date format different than what I am doing. So my date of birth is this, and then salary is, let us make it 8,000 at least. I don't work less than 8,000. Why should I? So I earn a commission of 20,000. I would like to earn 20,000 commission with only 8,000 salary. I belong to a department, let us say 50. No, I won't use 50. I will just, because I have to create an example. So I am giving it as a null. I have no department yet. I have been hired. So right now I'm going to execute this query. How many of you feel this is a right query that it gets executed, or do you want to crack the query before I execute? Any one of you. Can any one of you guess what is the mistake with this particular query? Okay. One of them says, though it is showing as severity, I think someone else has joined on the name of my coordinator. Let us check who is this. Is it Satya? Yes. My friend Satya is answering. There is a date format issue. You are right, my friend. So any other mistakes? I already executed it, and you also can see the error. You all can guess it. It's not guess it. It's a very simple thing. Let us go and look at it. Okay. Okay, it's not allowing me the edit file, but that's fine. I can use a clear screen one more time. You are right, my friend, but still you should not. You all did not, follow a particular mistake which is visibly there. So I have to show you the query one more time. So this is the query. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I think it's showing the error on the job field.
Okay, it is showing, but still, did anyone try to notice that there are no single quotes on the string data, which is kind of a mandatory, as I told you? Is that right? Any string data, including date, has to be given in single quotes. That is a mandatory thing. So, my friends, make sure that you give any date format. Date format, I will come to it. Why will it not execute in this format? And how to make it, execute in a required format, I will talk to you. Satya, you are still right. This is going to fail again. But I'm going to execute it and see what will happen. You see. Now the previous error is gone and it says not a valid mark. So I have to let you know that Oracle likes only particular date format, which is the Indian style of writing a date. 23 March. This is also, I think, if I'm not wrong, called as a military format. No, this is not the military format. There is something called as a military format they use, which is only in the United States they call it. But in here, now it says 23rd March 1979. How many bet on this that this query is going to fail or successful? Any guess on whether this query is going to fail or still it will be successful? Okay, no one wants to guess it. I gave you an opportunity to make your guess. What's successful? Satya says it worked successfully. Let us see. One row created. Fantastic. Fantastic. So it got approved by Oracle compiler and the data entered into the table. But now you have to notice there is a particular person called Ganesh. He is a trainer. So his salary is 8,000. He doesn't have any department. Now, my friend, whatever you told on the left outer join is going to work here. You see here. Left join the department. Now you see Ganesh. Isn't it? You see here? He doesn't have a department, but he is showing up. But the important thing we have to understand is, in an equi-join, it is not going to show up. Which means, if I select star from, let me not write the query. Let me use the buffer. We already have it in buffer. So this is an equi-join. You can now sense it. An equi-join, wherein I don't mention a keyword called left. It is giving only the equivalent data. If there is a person in employee table that does not have a department, it cannot show that in an equi-join. Whereas in left outer join, it shows all that have a department and also the person who doesn't have any department. Both are shown. Now, if I make the same condition as a little bit different, which is I'm calling it as full join. You see here, it's a full join. In full join, it is giving Ganesh doesn't have a department and operations department does not have an employee. You see how beautiful it is? So that is a full outer join. So it is very easy for you to understand if you understand the relationship here, that joining is nothing else than you are telling SQL from saying, give me the data between employee table and department table where the departments are matched. And you're also asking at the same time, in the left outer join, you're saying, give me the employees that are not in the department. Give me the employees that does not belong to any department. And you're also asking a query, give me the department that does not have employees. Altogether, you can write a query like this as a full join, but I have to mention it, whether you call it as a left outer join or left join, syntactically both are right. But the universal rule, if at all, because we are using Oracle, it is working. But you have to generally write it as full outer join. This is the syntax you see here. In the same way, you have to write it as left outer join. That is universal. Because if you write it as full join and execute in a SQL server, it is not going to work. So, for friends who are using Oracle 8 or Oracle 7, let us say I wanted to show you one other way of writing the same join statement, which might be, good to know. It's not required. It's just only good to know. The reason I'm showing this join is if at all you are working in a company that doesn't upgrade their Oracle environment that often, you will see a lot of SQL and PL/SQL procedures wherein they use a different kind of join syntax. But this is very much Oracle specific, don't forget. So in here, I am writing it as select ename, select rename from employee A, department B, where I'm saying department number is equal to department. This is even more nearer to English. This works fantastic the same way as above. But this is very much Oracle specific. If you run the same statement in SQL Server, it is not going to work. If it works even, it is a performance-wise, this particular, statement is poor, and the syntax that says inner join, outer join is a safe way to join. It is the best way to join. But why am I showing this particular query also for you is, you'll have to, when you look at a different help file in Google, you may see the joins are made in this way. Then you'll say, hey, Ganesh Battula did not teach us how to join two tables without using a syntax called, outer join, inner join, full outer join. So the above one where we are using the statement as a full outer join, left outer, right outer, they are called as 9i joins, ANSI joins, which means they are universal. Whereas the bottom ones are very much Oracle specific. So let me also show you how do you make a left outer join or a right outer join. All you need to do is put a plus symbol. It becomes a right outer join here. You see here, it is showing the department without employees. And how do you make it the opposite? All you need to do is take out this plus symbol from here, put it here. This is also a way that you can write join. It works the same way, externally. But performance-wise, and the rule of thumb that you have to use, what you say, ANSI standards, then you have to write, you see here, it is not accepting the full outer join because it has some limitations that you cannot do the full outer join when you put two plus symbols on either side. Only one outer join is permitted at a time. But just to, show you, just to show you that you can also make use of joins in this way, I'm trying to, explain it. Any questions on joins, my friend?
Ganesh, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so equi-join and inner join are both are equal by syntax wise?
Yes, equi-join is just an synonym of inner join.
Okay.
So whether you write it as inner join or not, for example here. So here, select star from EMP. Okay, let me not even write the query. Let me use the buffer. So if you look at here, this is the query. And if I write it as inner join or not, still it will take it as inner. Inner is just a keyword so that you understand this is equi-join. Outer is nothing else than it is also giving the oddballs, which is, it is giving, the intersection and union of everything. Which means it is giving all the data that is in the right-hand table, all the data that is in the left-hand table. So, you might be very curious to understand how do I display all the columns here. Right now I am displaying only 2 columns. Let us say I want to display all the columns. The easiest way is, I will show you the first easiest way and the second easiest way. Right now let us say I want all the columns from table A, whereas I want only D name from table B. If I do it as A dot star, then it gives me entire data. The while character gives me the entire data on department or employee table, and only one column from the it gives all the data from employee table, and it gives only one column from the department. And if I want, let us say, all the columns from both, I can as well give B dot star, or I can give it as just a simple star because you want all of them. But you have to notice one important thing here. If at all you are specifying a column name, you have to specify whether you are asking for A dot department number or B dot department. That is very important. Which means I'm going to show you something interesting here. You see here. I want the department number from A table, DPT number from A table, and I want department name from B table, D name, because I don't have D name in the A table. So department number, I did not specify from which table I want. If I execute, what error I will get? There is a very important error in SQL. Everyone faces this. So any guess on what the error you could get in this statement of select, department number, B dot D name, or let us say even I will take out B dot, so that even it will be visibly clear for you. So I did not specify this from which table I want a department number, from which table I want a department. Now you tell me what could be there. Okay, no guess there. You see here, ambiguously defined. Column ambiguous. Ambiguous is nothing but, you are not mentioning which table you want this to be taken from. So let me give as B dot D name, because we all know, or I don't give B dot D name. I have to give as A dot department number. You see here. Now it works fantastic, because a D name I did not give as B dot D name, but it still came up. Whereas if I don't give A dot department number, it is never going to come up. That is a very important thing that you will have to notice, and you have to digest the fact here. You see here. Again it says column ambiguously defined. Any guess on why is it saying now, after I have given B dot D name, it says department number, it is putting a star there, and it says column ambiguously defined. Whereas in the above query, you also look at this particular part. I did not give B dot D name, but it still gave the data. Any guess from the class, any wild guess is fine.
So D name is not there in the employee table, so it takes from the based on the condition, it takes from the
exactly, my friend. You are absolutely right. So between these two tables, the common column is the department number. And if you are not specifying A dot department number or B dot department number, you tell me how can it fetch data? It gets confused. So whereas a D name is available only in the B table, so it doesn't need any specification saying, oh, go and get it from B table. There is only one D name column. So when there is a common column between the two tables that you are joining, make sure you give it an alias name. Alias name is nothing but for EMP table, I have aliased it as A. For a department table, I have aliased it as a B. I'm just giving a space in between. That is the syntax. So a table name followed by a space, and whatever the name you give, it takes it. And for people who are visualized, I'm going to ask you one other question. My business user is going to feel very unhappy if I display a report where I'm calling as a D name. He wanted it to be called as a department name. Any wild guess how can I make it as a department name instead of D name? Any guess? These are all just your guess. So don't worry about whether you are right or wrong. Just keep guessing.
Okay, you can write the column name specifically. You can change the column name. Maybe.
Sure, yes, we can. And how do I do that? Because I'm also showing an aliasing here, right? For the tables. Can I do it for the columns also or not? Any guess? Yes, why not? I can always give the same thing with a space. If I call it as department name. Now I execute. So it is displaying me instead of DEPT name, D name, it is displaying as department name. One of you might ask me now, if I create a space in between, department name. Will this work? Any guess if I make a space between department and name, will it work?
It may confuse as another field.
Obviously, right? It is the syntax. Double quotes. My Satya, my friend here says double quotes. Let us try double quotes. You are right, Satyam. It is double quotes. You see here now. But never use this kind of a form, which means, spaces and all are not going to add good for you. It will make it bad. In general, the best practice is we use underscore so that it is very easy, which is a good practice rather than making it case sensitive and, being in trouble. So this is how I generally use it. Don't worry about why is it not printing E. That is the reason it is not having the data in the bottom. It can take maximum of the characters that are being displayed here. So don't worry about a department name is still department name. If we wanted to display it, there is a different way, but don't worry about it. All we need to know about is that you have an option that you can alias a column or a table. Understood, my friend? Any questions? So, Nanda Prasad, you had a question actually. We started from there. And did I answer your question or I did not? I don't remember actually. Refresh my mind.
Yeah, you mean about the join?
Yeah, you had a question.
Yeah, you cleared that. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So, this is aliasing. Aliasing works fantastic. You see here, the display name as employee underscore N, whereas the department it is displaying as a department underscore NAM. The reason is the size of the data under it. Don't worry, it is just a display format. You don't need to worry if we run a couple of set operators, everything will be set. But we have to understand, many other important things than worrying about the display what we are making. I will have a question for you on date. If you remember, I told I am inserting data and I have given a particular date format, if you remember. How many of you disagree that I should give a date like this or I should, use any functions while I give it?
I think you can use function.
Yes, the best way is generally using a function. You will have to enter the date. All you need to do is make it as a toDate. This is Oracle format, guys, again. When I am using a function, function is never going to be universal or common between SQL Server and Oracle. So without using the function execute this query, it works fantastic. But date formats are few, date format is one of the important things that SQL Server follows a different format and Oracle follows a different format. For sure, you'll have to use a convert function in SQL Server and toDate function in Oracle. So all I have to do is give it the date format, and in here I give a comma and mention it what is the format. You see here. It is dd-mon-yyyy. I'll close the bracket. Now, the important thing is, I can give it in any format I need. You see here, I will give it as 03. I can still give it as MM. You see here, this will work absolutely fine. But I have to change the, primary key. So I have to give an 8 here. I will give it as Ganesh, or let me give a new entry as Naresh. I don't want it to make it case sensitive data, so Naresh. So I entered Naresh. Now if I enter, one row is created. If I run the earlier queries, any of them, you see here, You can visually see Ganesh, Naresh, Smith, Allen, Ward, Jones, Martin, Blake, Clark, King, Turner, Adam, James, Ford, Miller. Department names are here. There are two departments that does not have, an employee. And if I wanted to even pull out the date, let us say, the display format is always different than inner format. So I'm trying to show you that it is very much required for you to understand these dates. I'll have to give it as higher date. You see it now. So Oracle has its a default format is different than the display format. The default format of Oracle is DDMONYYYY. The display format is DDMONYY. Whereas internally, you have to actually, the best practice is to always use a to date followed by the date that you want to enter followed by the format you want. Is this clear or any confusion? Please break the silence. If at all you are not clear, anyone in the class, Satya, Sam, Prabhakar, Naresh, I know you are entering only today into class. This is your first class. So let me know if you understand this join statement or not. Naresh, are you angry with me? People who are angry with me, yes, you can stop talking. People who are happy with me, yes, you can start talking. People who are confused with me will say I will without uttering a single word. So yeah, go ahead, Naresh. So you muted, unmuted, now you can talk. If your microphone is not working, then that's a different story. But currently I don't see it. Okay, if anyone in the class has a question on joins, whether it is inner join, Lalita, how about you? Are you clear with joins?
Right now, I don't have any queries. If I have, I'll get.
Sure. Fantastic. So, anyone else you have a question, stop me, or else I proceed with the regular presentation. We almost completed joins, which is in good shape. So, let us proceed. Oh, I have to use the shift key, or else it starts from first. And if I start from first, I know everyone else will run away, doing the same SQL again and again. Okay. Now, joint relationships. These are the joint relationships that we have to understand. So, join types, we have inner join, left outer join, right outer join, and a full outer join. Now, we will switch the gears on to the next important topic. Here in the join relations, it's only an example of loan and borrower table. So, whether you take it as employee and department table or loan and borrower table, it is the same. So you should not worry about, using joins. It's a very simple thing to do. Alrighty. So let us now go into how many tables can we join at a time? Fantastic question, Mr. Satya. These are all interview questions. They generally ask this in an interview. How many tables that you can join in Oracle. The important thing the stupid interviewer won't understand is never someone would write a query by joining 20 or 30 tables. It's never going to happen. But he wants some theoretical knowledge. If I am not wrong, it is 32 tables or is the maximum limit in Oracle that you can join. But later on, they made a change to it. They even went up to 1,000 tables. They have lifted out the limitation. Sorry, here I'm getting a call. Hold on 1 second. Okay, one of my computers will answer the call. So it's only because the mic is on, I cannot hear you. So if you look at it, what was I telling? I'm the modern Gajni. He has a 15 minutes of memory. I have only 15 seconds of memory. I always forget the last sentence. Please, one of you remind me.
Number of tables to join.
Number of tables to join. Fantastic. So the answer for it is, earlier it is 32 tables, and right now I think there is no limitation. You can even join 1,000 tables. But let us ask, the right way is to ask Google Mama. Google Mama is better than anything else. And this is not 100% accurate because Oracle has a different number, SQL Server has a different number. So make sure that if you are attending an interview on SQL Server, browse for SQL Server. So maximum number of tables can be joined in Oracle. If I'm not wrong, until 9G, it was different, whereas after 10G came into picture, they have lifted up the limitations. We are going directly into the Oracle forum. Someone should have answered this simple question. You see here, but the forum is always like there will be too many discussions because they put their everything of their own, views and thoughts. By giving some wrong information, it's going to create a lot of confusion, but they don't care. They just post whatever they want. So this guy says, I have done over 300 as a test. You see here. But he also says infinite, which means I was right. You can join 1,000 tables, 2,000 tables, any number of tables after 10G version. But if you are working still on a 9G or an 8 version, it will have a limitation of 32 tables if I am not wrong. So yeah, that's an interview question.
But how about the performance? If suppose like many tables,
it's going to be for sure. If you are in a joint family, the performance is going to be poor. If you have 10 siblings, if you want to stay in single home, then obviously the performance will be poor. You will even skip your meal because each of them will feel like the other one will cook for you. It's the same way in database also. Performance-wise, the number of tables that you join will degrade the performance until and unless you expand the memory space, you give it proper indexing, you join only on primary keys. After doing all this magic, by using hints, by using Naresh, you're not on mute. Yeah, thank you, my friend. So it is all about how you make it work. You have to index it. You have to, use several hints. You have to use a tuning mechanism. Then you can improve the performance. The more tables you join, obviously it is going to be an issue, a little bit of performance issue. All right, we are entering into a new world where I'm talking about derived relationships. If you still have any questions on join, stop me. But derived relationships, it is more about, before you add an entry into your person as a wife or a kid. A derived relationship is a relationship between a boy and a girl, as a boyfriend and a girlfriend. You see, that's a derived relationship, which means they still are not in relation, but you can make them sit under a tree or on a table and then chit chat. It's more or less like that. SQL allows the subquery expression to be used in the form of a clause. Find the average account balance of those branches where the average account balance is greater than 100. Which means it is asking, if we convert into the query that we have, some of the students might be calling on my phone because there is an SAP FICO demo. So kindly hold on there, guys. I have to pass on the phone to my coordinator. I kept the phone with me. Sorry to make you hold, but it's just only one. So using a subquery. What does it mean by a subquery? As I told you, you can always extract data between two tables by joining. What if there is no join condition and you still wanted to extract? For example, can anyone give me a query? Can anyone, even my friend Satya is very good at writing SQL queries. Can you give me the department name that has salary, that has a sum of salaries as the maximum of all departments? Give me the highest salary of all the departments. I want a department name to be displayed, which means more or less it is like this. I wanted to select star from EMP table where salary, or I wanted to get the maximum of salary. Is this the right query? Select star from EMP where, or select max of the salary from EMP. That is also okay. But what will it give me? Let us see.
But based on department, it is required.
Yeah. So maximum of salary from EMP. It is giving it to me as 8,000. Now I want the maximum of salary in a particular department. Still good. I can say group by department. Day3 number, comma, this one. So it can give me this. So it is giving me all the departments and the maximum of salaries. Now I wanted to display only the department that has the maximum of salary out of all the departments. Can anyone write a query on that? So I don't know the salaries or the sum of salaries of this department, but I want a query that can display. If at all you look at it now, I want that particular department which has the maximum of salary, that is 8,000. There is no department in the 8,000. That is a record created by us. So let me alter the EMP here, because it will add little bit of confusion. So let me delete from EMP where ename equal to Ganesh, so that that particular record is deleted. Let us say Naresh. Okay, we are in a good shape. I have to always run a commit statement after the delete. So fine. Now there won't be any confusion. You see here, I'm asking you, display me only the department with highest salary. How do you do it? You don't know how many departments are inside. You don't know what is the sum of the salary of the department. I want a single query that can give me the highest salary across the departments. In order to achieve that, we can, my friend Satya, do you want to give it a try? I'm not sure how many of you understood, the question I had. So all I am trying to ask you is, I want only the department number 10 and its salary as 5,000, because that is the department which has the highest amount of the salary. Is there a way? You might say just put a where clause and say where department is equal to where, but that is only a static query, right? The departments might increase, the salaries might change. So in order to achieve that, we have this subquery. Yeah, my friend says using a subquery. You're right, my friend. So in this, I can tweak the query as simple as, so I will say select maximum of salary in my subquery, and I will say select star from EMP where sum of salary equal to this particular query. Now it will give me dynamically a group by function is not allowed here. Okay. In the where class, if I am giving a group by, obviously it is not going to allow. Oh, my friend already has a query here written for me. So he says select department number from employee where salary is equal to. Okay, my friend, this will help. This is a good query, whatever you have given. But the result will be a little different. Let us see. He has written a subquery here. So never mind, we will use my friend's subquery instead of my own. All we are trying to do is understand the subquery. So any query is okay. Here, my friend Satya has given me a query. All I am trying to do is copy it here, but it's still not getting copied. So give it me a minute. I'm doing it. Bear with me. Okay, you see here. It says there is unexpected end of the SQL statement. It's a very simple syntax error here. Now it gives the department number that has a maximum salary. So it says select department number from EMP where salary is equal to select maximum of salary from EMP. So my friend, here whatever you did is okay. It is giving me a particular employee salary of a department, whereas I want the sum of salaries of all the employees in a department. Department-wise, you will have to sum up and give me what is the maximum. That was the requirement, but that's fine. Anyway, we can understand the SQL statement here. So all he is trying to show us is select the department from employee table where salary is equal to. So he is selecting a maximum of salary from employee table in his subquery. So in this, the second part of it, starting from here, is called as a subquery. Select maximum of salary from EMP is a subquery that internally gives a value that is being passed on to the external query, and finally you get the department, or if you want to even display the entire data, you can always do it. You see here, instead of department, you can always say star, so that it gives you that particular record with a maximum of salary. So if you are doing a group by, you cannot get it because it will display only name or number or some common element. But if you want the full data, you have to write as a subquery. You can practice it. Try once on the subquery. It is as simple as if you have 10 white balls, 10 green balls, and a black ball. If you wanted to select the black ball, so all you have to do is write a subquery, first select that out, and then count it from the pool of the ball, then you'll get it. It is almost like doing a subselect. Subselect here is called as a subquery because you have to write a query in order to select a subset of the data. And that subset is passed in the main set of the SQL statement, and it gives you whatever the record you want. So in order for me to just make sure that I have resolved the query properly, I will do it like this. Group by, because I wanted the maximum of salary by department, not just by employee. Here it is giving only the employee. So I'm giving it as, you see here, select maximum of salary from EMP group by department. And I'm passing the same thing to the salary, but here I have to give one more group by, I think this will work. Or I can write more subqueries. I can't give it a star. I have to give it as, email. Group by, I have to give it as not email. I wanted to find out the department, so why would I give email? I have to give department. Yeah. So this is still not right, but let us see. You see here, it says, okay, this is just a syntax error. So the more you write SQL statements in SQL prompt, you'll enjoy SQL and also you'll learn SQL. You see here, single row subquery returns more than one value. Anyone, any guess why this is happening? Because, tell me, still you can guess it. A subquery cannot return more than one value. If at all it returns, it's going to fail. The reason is, subquery is a single row function. You see here, now it returns three values, 2,850, 3,000 and 5,000. Whereas here I am telling it as salary less than or equal to so and so amount. Which means I have only one option. I can give, when I say equal to, I can give only one value. When I say less than, even I'll have to give it one value and ask it to give me if it is less than 5,000, less than 10,000, less than 2,000. But I am mixing it up, which is wrong. So is the reason it just fails. So you can write more subqueries and make this function work. So it has to return only one department that has a maximum salary. You see here, I will make it work. Group by department number having sum of sal. No. The department number, I will say order by salary, and I will give it saying group by, and I want only the first one. So I have to think about a query, order by salary. I have to write an having clause here. Group by department having, no, forget about it. I don't want everyone to be confused with too many of the subqueries. Let us still keep it as simple as this much. I want the department that has, I want the employee belonging to a department that has a maximum of salary. So the highest of all the departments I have in department number 10, the salary is 5,000. That is what it is displaying here. So just remember that much as a subquery. If I make it too complex, I know you're going to be unclear about it, and complexity creates confusion. So that is about the subquery. Any questions on subqueries? If it is not clear, the subquery, let me try one more time. I know because I went it in a broad spectrum, so I know people might have got a little bit confused. But how many of you are confused? How many of you are clear and unclear? So irrespective of it, I am trying to explain you one more time. Select star from employee is a very simple query. in which I wanted to select the maximum, the employee that has the maximum of salary by department. That is the requirement. So I can always find out select DEPT number where, oh no, you have to write a from class from EMP where, no, I don't need a where, be grouped by DEPT number. So this can give me the salary, max of salary. So this can give me the salary. Now from this I wanted to print only department number 10 because that has the highest salary. How do I do it? Is by writing a SQL query. All I will do is I will make this as a subquery. You see here, and I will write one more query on top of it. Select star from EMP where sal is equal to. I don't need this group by anymore because I am picking up maximum of salary from employee table and trying to display it. You see here. So this is a very simple query that I wanted the maximum of salary from employee table and I want all the details. That is the reason I am writing a subquery and display. A very simple subquery. If you wanted to select the maximum of salary from an employee table and display all its details, this is the query you will have to use. Is that clear, guys? Subquery is going to extract the subset of the data and you can pass it to the main query and it displays the exact result that you want. Let me know if it is clear so that we can proceed into the next level, next topic. Let me see what is the next topic. So, better I read through this so that you have a better understanding. SQL allows a subquery expression to be used in the form of a clause. Clause is nothing but like a where. Find the average account balance of those branches where the average account balance is greater than $1,200. So all he is trying to do is, you see here, select branch name, average balance from account group by branch name, which means it will give you the average balance. You see here, he is using this as a where class. Instead of giving a table, you can always give a query here, which means, so that is also one way of expressing it. I have to mention it to you so that you are clear about it. Which means, you see here, I don't need to give an employee table. Instead, I can give this. It works perfectly fine. So all I need to do is select DEPT number from DEPT number, comma, max of sal from EMP group by salary. So this is a subquery. It can still not a group by expression, sorry. So it's actually, I gave it a sal, it should be department. You see here. So if at all you wanted to write a subquery instead of a table, that is permitted. Instead of writing select department number from EMP, if you wanted to select it this way, still it works fine. Instead of, all you are trying to do is replace the table, you see here. Maybe here it has a better form, you see here. So instead of a table, here we have given a subquery. This part is totally a subquery. which means it will allow a subquery to make a table internally. It is kind of a buffer. It is almost like, you have a bag of chips or a bag of popcorn. You can take a couple of them out into your hand before you eat. So the subquery is nothing but your hand that is hand picking some data, and then you are putting it into your mouth, which means you are displaying on the screen using a sequence. It is as simple as anything else. It is a subquery is going to get the subset of data from a table, and then you can query on top of that data. That is what is a subquery. All right, guys. I assume silence as a good understanding. If not, please stop. So, all right, that is derived relationship. Now comes a very important part of it. View. You have to understand this view. I mean, subquery anytime you can understand. View is a very simple thing that you have to understand. And everywhere in an organization, you will come across views. You will never be given an access to the table. You will be given a view that you can access data. You tell me, just as a simple story, what is a view? Your assumption of what is a view? A relationship that is not of conceptual model but is made visibly to a user. Virtual relationship is called as a view. Fine, that is the definition. But you tell me what is a view in a regular way. I mean, you can guess it. Okay. If no guess, let me tell you what is a view. We all have entered, let us say, Salajan Museum or any museum. Or let us say you not go to the museum, your own home. I am your guest today. I am visiting Nandakumar's home today. He is going to give me access to his home. Nandakumar, if I may ask you, will you give access to your entire home? Like your hall, your bedroom, your kitchen, your bathroom, your safe pack, everything. Will you give access to your entire family room, or you will give me access only to certain levels?
Of course, I will give access to entire.
Right. So he cannot trust me that I can peep into a nook and corner of his home and then I can, spoil anything in his home. So view is also the same way. It can restrict a person not to see some sensitive data. For example, your PAN card. For example, your driver's license. For example, your email address. For example, your phone number. It won't allow the end user to see the sensitive data. So that is where you can use a view. For example, now I am going to give a perfect definition of a view. You see here. Select star from EMP. Oh, sorry. It's the wrong query there as the syntax. So select star from EMP. This is the table that we are displaying. You see the salary is being displayed. In an organization, it is always kind of data has to be maintained in a confidential manner, especially salaries. If Nandakumar comes to know that his junior, who is working as a programmer, is earning more than him, he will feel very unhappy about it, and Nandakumar is going to leave the organization. So there are two ways. You can mask the data, or you can allow a view. A view can help you to restrict accessing a particular column of the data, a particular set of the data. You see here. Select star. No. I have to create a view. Create view. EMP. Select a view. Create view employee. Select name. You see here. This is very important, guys. Views are very important. You will be creating for entire of your lifetime in a database. Employee name, e-name, job, MGR, hire date. I'm skipping the salary and commission part, and I'm giving the department number. That's all. I'm saying create view employee, select employee number, rename job, manager, hire date, and department number. You see here. Oh, missing keyword. I missed as. Okay. You see here. From keyword missing. Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. From keyword. All right. Now it will work perfectly. Insufficient privileges. We are going to talk about privileges, but currently it is saying insufficient privileges. Let me give it more privileges. In order to give it privileges, I need to switch the window to log in as an administrator. So let me do that right away. It gives me 2 minutes, guys. So I have to give Scott and Scott. I have to grant access to him. You're right. It is granting access. But then I cannot grant to myself. I have to be an administrator because right now I logged in as Scott. So I have to log in as a DBA. Only then I can give permission to him. So bear with me 1 second. So I'm just going into my other server to give him permissions because Scott does not have permissions to create views. You will understand end of the session today. You will understand what is this, why does not he has permissions, all that you will understand. Just bear with me a couple of more minutes. Before we take a break, I will show this and we will be done. Because I have to log in as a DBA in order to give him permission. So is it already a 9:30? It's 9 p.m. I think it is 9:30. No? Okay. One of you help me with the time zone.
Yeah, it's 9:40 in India.
Fantastic. So we'll take a break shortly, but bear with me for a couple of more minutes so that we complete this particular insufficient privileges issue, and then we will take a break. So I will enter as a DBA. The password has expired. The user account has expired. Password needs to be changed. My God, the DBA password itself expired. So I'll be in trouble if at all that is the case. I have to connect as a system admin and do it. But I have another way. Don't worry. Let me see if I can grant view rights for my Scott. My friend Scott does not have permission, so I'm right now doing it. So I edit his privileges. In the system privileges, all I have to give is create views. End of the day, you'll know what this create view right is. So just bear with me. Create view. Create any view. You see here. Create view. Apply. So grant is succeeded. Don't worry about what is the grant I gave. I'm going to reveal the secret just after some time. So now if I do it, view created, you see here. So now if I go and query as select star from EMPLOYEE, it makes no difference except that I have marked a couple of columns. If at all I want to give the same name as the table, even I can always give. No one stops me. I can always give like this. But in a definition, you cannot have two tables with two tables or a table and a view with the same name. That is not possible. So I have given it as an employee. I can always say EMP1. You see here, I can give it like this. And if I select the data now, you see here, it has been restricted. The underlying data did not change. A view is only metadata. It does not have data itself, which we are going to see what is a view in a clear fashion when you come back. Because you have to understand, view is not duplicating data, or it is not, creating the same table one more time. We are only masking a couple of columns and we are displaying the rest of the columns to the word. That is only very good, functionality that is there in RDBMS. You can hide a couple of sensitive columns that people should not view them. All right. So let us take a break. We'll catch up in the next half an hour. I know I'm a little bit late today, 10 minutes. So you take a break for like 30 minutes and we should be back in the session and discuss more about, referential integrities and grant privileges. Those are the two highlights of the second half of the session. Okay, take a break, have a Kit Kat, and come back with a smiley face and energetic face, and we'll do the rest of the session as usual, and we should be good in SQL. Tomorrow we'll start Oracle, very much specific to Oracle. So bear with me until then. Thank you, guys. So that you get more benefited, because we'll have to take the interview in English, right? Most of you are really good English, and few might have trouble, which will go away sooner. So let me pull out the presentation and see what we have in the second half of the presentation. Because I was not satisfied with views and also, subqueries. I tried to explain it one more time. So for people who are a little, weird, pardon me there. It's just only, to make sure that people can understand the concept of view and also subqueries. Alrighty, we are back in the presentation. So a relation that is not of a conceptual model but made visual to an user as a virtual relation is called a view, which means you are not going to change anything inside a database. You are not going to drop the table, or you are not going to do any masking of the data on the table. All you are doing is create an virtual relationship. You are creating just a metadata statement called as create view, and you are giving it a name. So this is the syntax for it. Create view as, you can give any select star or select from so-and-so table, then it becomes a view. Once a view is defined, the view name can be used to refer to a virtual relation that the view generates, which means you can always use the view in a relationship. For example, we had a department table. It is a physical table, whereas I have created employee underscore sim, which is a virtual table. It's not real table, but you can join both of them. That is what conceptually they are trying to explain here. That is a very important thing that you have to understand, because any application layer that you are going to work, no one will give you access to the tables. They will always provide you access to the view. So where do the views get stored? I can show you visually, visibly where the view gets stored. If at all you go and do a describe of view, let us see what will happen. Describe employee underscore space. You see here. It is exactly giving as a table definition. You have the name, you have the data type. So how do I differentiate a view and then a table is a question that you have to take as a homework. So if at all I go into an SQL prompt, tell me how do I differentiate between a SQL statement, a DDL, that is a table DDL and view DDL. That's a question for you. Take it as a homework and get back to me with an answer. It is not only me, it is the entire class. Please get back to the class with an answer. You'll get a very good round of applause for being, proactive or reactive in the code. So that is a view definition. Now we have some example queries which, already we have seen a couple of examples. Create view all customers as, you can give the definition of it, and you can always use a union. You can use any kind of operations that we use so far. You can use union, you can use intersection, you can use, a minus, or you can use a plus, whatever you wish you can use, not a plus. Minus is allowed. Minus, you can say, first query minus second query, it works proper in Oracle. Minus is not in SQL command, it's specific to Oracle. So you do have this kind of options in view. You can use the view as good as a table. One secret, when I say virtual table, view is a virtual table, but still I can insert data into view. If I insert data into view, it will go and commit into the table. That is a very important thing I will have to explain right away. I have to show you visually that it will work. You see here, insert into employee underscore sales values, starting with, I have to give a department number, that is mandatory, for employee number, that is mandatory, and it should be unique. Rest all of them I can give anything I want because it doesn't care much. So let me give as Nanda, and then followed by his job. We will say he is a CEO, followed by his manager. I can give, the easiest way is give everything as now. So there is no more manager for now. So his hire date, there is no hire date. He is there from the company start date. So his salary is, you put it every 10-digit number, his salary should be that. His commission, he doesn't have commission, so we'll make it now. And his department, he doesn't belong to any department, but we'll make it part of the operations department, let us say. So if I add data into it, tell me, what is your first guess? Will this get executed or will it fail? Any wild guess is permitted.
It will fail.
Let's see why. Value large in the specified question allowed in the call. Fine. It is not allowing Nandakumar to earn, 1 crore. Let us reduce couple of numbers and see if it exists. You see here, value too large. Again, too large. So I'll have to reduce your salary, my friend. Though you earn more, I have to reduce it. You see here, 1 row inserted. Why is it so? Where is the record?
It's in the employee table.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I inserted it into the employee underscore sales.
Yeah, but it is the main table is employee, right? EMP.
Right. So let me do a trick here. I'm selecting star from employee underscore sales. What will be the result, my friends? Any wild guess?
I think you'll see the view. Employee underscore sales is a view, right?
Yes, it is a view. So if I have inserted data into employee underscore sales. In front of you, I have inserted the data. And I'm now querying to select star from employee underscore sales. What is your guess? What would be the output? Displays the new record. So Satya says he displays the new record. Any other guess? Any other betting? Let us do a betting. This is more like whether Sachin will hit a century or he will be duck out. Okay? If no one wants to guess, I bet it's not going to show the, you see here. Now you have to explain why is it not showing the. It says row is inserted, but it did not show the record. Any guess on why did not it show the record?
Because you are not inserting in the real table, right?
No, I will show you the data in the real table, my friend. I know you might ask that. So here, see, Mr. Nanda, CEO with salary of 10,000. Is there an employee table?
Mm-hmm.
No, my friend Satya is guessing it. We have created the view before inserting data. You might be right. You might be right. But let me tweak the insert statement and you'll be wondering, you'll see it. So in here, you see it here. So I will keep the entire data same way. The department number is going to change. So you did not notice that I have given a department number of 40, whereas our sales department is not 40. It is 10, is it? What was our sales department, guys? 20.
20.
Yeah, that's where is the secret. So I'll make it as 6, and then I will call, instead of Nanda, I will call him as Naresh, or let us give Satya. He is the VP, or we call it clearly Vice President. And then rest of them, let them stay like that. Or I will give him a very good salary. The VP should earn more than anyone else. Now, the data is too large again. In which is it too large? Vice President is too large. Okay, let us call him as President itself, not Vice. Alrighty, one record created. Now, let us see what you'll get out of this. You see, employee sales, and my friend Satya is here as a president with a salary of $99,999, and he belongs to department number 20. Now, the reason I reveal here, I have created the employee underscore sales view with a where class of department number 20 only. Whereas Nanda belongs to department 40, so he will never be seen in this view. You can insert the data into view, but it gets inserted only into the table. But output-wise, when you want it to retrieve, it has to still go by the syntax. You see here? I will show you what is the view I have created here. Then your mind will be clear. I'm just going back into the buffer so that I can get the exact statement what I used to create that. You see here, it should be here. Notice it and alert me that I am not passing away. You see here, create new employee sales as select star from EMP where department number is equal to 20. When it is 20, there is no way that it can show the value of 40. That's what is the power of a view. It will limit anyone to not access the data beyond the department. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Confusion, concern?
Yes.
Is it confusion or concern? My dear friends, yeah, let me know if at all I am confusing you. It is the reality. I am trying to show you the reality, the power of SQL here, that you can restrict anyone to see the sensitive data, so that you can insert data into it, but they cannot see it. You can insert into view. You are going to tell them, okay, this is a table. Go and insert data. It gets inserted. But if he is trying to look at any other department data, he can never see it. That is what, in an organization at the application layer level, no one will have access to the tables. Everyone will have access only to the view. They will limit each department to have access to only their records from backend in this way. There are few ways from the front end that they can do it from the application layer, but that's a different story. All I'm trying to show you is views can be created in a database, which is kind of a virtual table, and it will limit a person accessing you from unwanted data. That's what is a view. Okay, if no questions, I'll go back to the presentation. If S questions, I can have more time. Okay, when people are silent, I take it as a full acceptance. So uses of views. Hiding some information from some users. That is a very important thing. Consider a user who needs to know a customer name, loan number, and a branch name, but he has no need to see the loan amount. He is not given an option to see the loan amount. So you can view the view. You can restrict him not to see the loan amount. He can still see the customer name, loan number, and the branch name, because that is what is required. So grant the user permission to read customer loan data, but not the borrower or the loan. You can grant permissions only to certain columns. Granting is not granting at the table level. You are restricting column-wise, saying, okay, you can access only certain columns of data. But he will not know that you can access only with certain limitations. Predefined queries to make writing of other queries easier, which means you can create aggregate functions. You know one good thing? Let me show you. The view is powerful because people use the view in case of summary of the day. You see here. Create a view, salary summary, sal summary. Let us say sal summary as select a dot d name, comma b dot sal from DEPT A and EMP B join, sorry, not and, I'm sorry, it's join on A dot DEPT number is equal to B dot DEPT number. You see here. Create view salary summary. I'm selecting these two columns. Instead of just the salary, I will do it as sum of salary. You see here. I can create a summary statement upfront instead of querying them, writing a join query, all this. I'm doing it upfront. Group by DEPT or D name. Let us say D name. That's all. The view gets created. There is some problem with the view. Okay, I unnecessarily closed it. It's not required. Must name this expression with a column earlier. Okay, so you see here. Because this expression is like sum of salary, so I will say you see here. The view got created. Now if I say select star from sal underscore, it is stored as if so you are writing a query now to sum up. It is already somewhere. It stays there forever. If someone wants the summary data, it is easy if you create a view and provide it there, so that end of the day, if you wanted to see, end of the month, you wanted to see what is the sum of the salary. If there are 100 people or 1,000 people in your organization, the data is already stored in that way, which means you are only storing a metadata in that way, and the data is summed up, which makes it easier. The functional person can write the query really easy. You don't need to ask him to write a query by using join. All you say is, go and select the data from sal underscore summary, you'll see the summary of the salary. Then account. Isn't it fantastic? It is all about DBMS and RDBMS, my dear folks. At first, I have shown you at the starting of the class, I have shown you a single piece of paper where it was your statement. And now we are going deep diving into the DBMS and RDBMS concept where you can organize the data in the best manner so that security is taken care, so that the accessibility to the data in the right format is taken care. Reports generated from the data is taken care. So the data is in an organized way. It is more or less like my wife, presenting my home and myself, living in that home. So I am the end user. My wife is the actual database who is, creating different rooms and making it really good. So there is a question, can we update the data using a join condition? Why not? You can. That is very much required. We will go to the update statement in the next couple of not couple of minutes, maybe after 15-20 minutes, then I will show you. Yes, you can update data using join condition. I haven't gone to the update statement, but I will show you. When I go to the update statement, I will show you how you can use joins to update this statement. That is all interview question. People ask that in an interview, so I will show you that. So are we clear with the views? Then I will jump to the next topic. That will be null value. My favorite null values. People are going to, laugh at me when I talk about null values. Because I'm going to say null and blank is different. And people will feel foolish. Are you trying to fool us? What is a null? What is a blank? For me, both are empty. Yes, both are empty, but there is a difference. I will let you know what it is. But are we clear with views? Okay, silence is always violent, but now it is vibrant. So silence is vibrant from now. People are saying silence, which means I assume that you understood it. All right, null values. How many in the class accept a null value and a blank value is the same? I have shown you already. I have created several views, and I can show you visually even. Right now, we retrieve data from using a query. You see here. You see here. In this, a manager is null and hire date is null. Right? You have seen me entering the data as null. It is showing empty. It should show as null. Why is it not showing? Let me again show you the data what you might be able to understand and formulate this. It would have been easier if the screen can switch. You see here now. In this particular statement, for 9996, Satya, President, I think I have changed the query later on. So let me show you the I have not given him a manager or a hire date. I have made them as a null. Why did not null show up in the table? And why did not I insert in single quotes? You should have asked this question. You told that a string has to be inserted in single quotes, but you did not insert the string in single quotes. Why? Anyone in the class can guess why did not I have put null value called null in single quotes? It's a string value, right? No one wants to take that question.
If we insert in single quotes, it will display null as a string. It will display.
Yes, you are right. If I insert it in single quotes, it will display as a string. But I have not inserted in single quotes. It should throw me an error, right? If let us say I'm going to change it now. I'm going to change it so that you'll visually see what would have happened and you'll advise me how to fix this. Let us see. So for president, I'm taking out the single quotes. And instead of Satya, I'm going to give it Lalita. Let us say like this. And I'm giving you an employee number of 9995. So you tell me now, Lalita, will this get inserted or not?
No.
Why? Null is getting inserted, right? You see here, it fails. Column not allowed here. So I have to make it in single quotes. So the important thing you'll have to remember, null is a keyword. Keywords need not need this to be as strings and they need not be inserted in single quotes. So in here, if I now enter it, I get a row created. So to your concern, I'm also going to have single quotes or null values. Let us see. You see here, I have inserted single quotes. And let us say I will give it to Usha. I have given a silly number there, so bear with me. If I insert now, it says invalid number. You see there? Because a manager is defined as a number. I have given it as a null value in single quote. It is saying invalid number because null is a keyword. You see here, help null. Okay, there is no topic in help. Database assumes it as null as no value. But internally, what will happen inside databases? It will give an internal pointer, internal number for each null value. The pointer is going to be unique. In order to prove that, so I am not sure if 100% I'll be able to prove it or not, but let me try it out. So I will say ASCII of MGR. You see here, the ASCII value for that number is all 55, but still the empty spaces are empty spaces only. So I thought it would give me the internal number, but it is not giving. But internally, Oracle stores each null value with a unique number. So what is blank? I will show you now what is blank. In this particular query, let me try to insert instead of null, I will try to insert an empty space. Empty space is different from null, my friend. That is all I am trying to explain. All right. So I haven't given any value there, but I'm still executing it. Will it work? You see here, missing expression. So I will try to put it in single quotes. Anyhow, single quotes is going to fail. The reason single quotes is going to fail is it won't accept character data. That's fine. So what I'll have to do is I have to choose a different field. That's all I need to do. So instead of president, I can give a null value, an empty value. It's not null value. It is a blank space. I want you to understand what is the difference between a blank space and a null value. Here I show you the visual difference. Now I will write a simple query wherein you can understand. Select star from EMP where Sal is null. You see here, no row selected. So instead of Sal, let us say MGR is null. You see here, it is able to show me all the values here, right? You could visually see it. The same way, let me tell. First, let us see what is the data in here. That is what is important, right? Without knowing the data, you will not be able to see it. This is also very important for testers because in a test environment, you are the one who has to go and test how does the null value and empty space and blank value is making issues in an application. Null values are very dangerous, so you have to test it carefully. So now, whatever you see here, there is only, a job for all of you, except for Charita, I have not given a job. I left it empty. So now I am calling it as where job is null. What will it return, guys? You already remember that the previous query. This query, it returned all the records that has no manager, right? You agree for that. Now I am writing the similar query and I am making it as where job is null. What will be the answer? Any guess? Any guess, my friend? Okay, if you don't want to guess, I'm going to press on enter. The moment I press on enter, the suspense is released. Okay, he says the answer is Charita. Sorry, my friend. There is no row selected. Database is tricking you, cheating you. The reason is, I have not given it as a null value. If I make it a job equal to a single space, you now see Charita here. Is it visibly clear that there is a difference between a null value and a blank space? Do you agree with me? Any concerns, questions? Disagreeing, agreeing?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Perfect. So are we clear with null values? The same thing is going to be shown as part of the definition. It is impossible for data to have a null value, denoted by null. For some of the attributes, null signifies an unknown value or that value does not exist. You see here, null signifies it is an unknown value. Sometimes it signifies it does not exist. That's all. But internally there is some value. The predicate null can use to check for null value. Example, find all the loan numbers which appear in the loan relation with the null value for amount. Where amount is null, it can show you. If you ask where amount is blank, that's a different. Null and blank is different thing. You can't use is equal to null. You have to use is equal to, a number or a space. You can say is null. Is null is a keyword, whereas is equal to is an operator. You getting me, guys? You can't say equal to null. What I mean to say is, in this particular query, if you say job equal to null, it will not show you. It will say no row selected. If you say job is null, it will show you. You see here. Oh, sorry, it did not show. Let me see why did not it show. I know why did not it show. You have to, instead of job, we have to try this MGR. If MGR equal to null, you see, no row selected. If MGR is null, 4 rows selected. You see here. Or 5 rows selected. So, keep in mind that there is a difference between a null value and an empty space. That's all is the conclusion. Alrighty, let me jump into a rest part of the presentation. That's about the null values. Now we are entering into the world of advanced SQL. So far you are learning basics of the SQL statement. Now I am going to take you to the advanced level of integrity constraints, authorization. We will not talk about embedded and dynamic SQL, those are too advanced for you, but we will be talking about the rest of all of them. Integrity constraints, authorization, embedded SQL. We will talk about advanced SQL features, functions, procedural construct, all. The constraints are a single relation. We have these constraints. Last week, if you remember, I have shown you not null, primary, and unique constraint. You remember that? There is also one important constraint called check constraint, check where P is the predicate. I will show you what the P stands for and what we can give. But these are the 4 constraints on a single relation. Not null, primary, unique, and check constraint. Not null constraint. Declare branch name for branch is not null. So branch name character of 15 not null. Did we define this in earlier classes? Let us go back and see. We will say DAC, EMP. You will see here. Here, employee number cannot be null, which means I have given several insert statements here, but now let us try by giving an employee number as null, will it accept? You see here. Instead of employee number, if I give it as null, is it accepted? You see here. It says cannot insert null into Scott emp.emp number. The reason is you have declared it as not null. That's called as a constraint. So you have to define a check constraint and not null constraint in the same way. How many of you went to the bank and without checking your balance tried to withdraw some amount from your bank? Did you ever try that? Obviously, we would have tried at least one or twice. We will try to, we will try to withdraw 20,000 from an ATM. It says not insufficient balance. The reason is the home loan got cut, the personal loan got cut, the car loan got cut. Which means we are all depending on living on, especially IT folks, we live on credit card. End of the month I earn like 2 to 3 lakhs, but my credit card will be more than that. It is called as a perpetuated debt. In English, they tell it as perpetuated debt. This is the Western culture always flowed into India, so we don't put limits on the credit card. Nowadays credit cards they are giving for 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 10 lakhs even, because they want to increase your purchasing power, trouble you for next couple of years to keep paying them. But unfortunately, IT engineers do use. I myself use credit cards like a real lavish way. That is how we are now. So in here, why is the reason I am talking about banking system? In every bank, you go and ask the teller. If you have a current account, the minimum amount balance is 5,000. If it is less than 5,000, it will not allow you to withdraw the amount. If it allows you to withdraw the amount even, you have to pay a quarterly or semester-wise or yearly maintenance fee because you did not maintain proper money. So if at all the teller did not check properly and you went to withdraw 3,000, the teller machine can give you 3,000. But because you have put a check constraint, I will show you what a check constraint is and how does it look like. It will keep checking and will not allow you to go beyond a certain certain point. You see here. Check where P is predicate. So we are going to create a table right away. Create table branch name, factor of 15, branch city, character of 30, assets as integer, primary key is branch name, whereas check assets greater than 0. You see here, I'm going to take the exact statement, run it, the table gets created, we will see what will happen after the table gets created. Oh, the name is already in use, so let us give it a different. Or I can drop it as well. I will say branch check. Now let me paste it. Alrighty, a table got created. Let us see the description of the table. You see here, it is a not null. Branch city is nullable and it's 30 characters. Assets is number of 38. It's not showing you what kind of a constraint is here. There is a table where we can go and see what constraints and all. That is fine. But in this particular scenario, let me insert data. Insert into branch check values. Branch name is SR Nagar. And branch city is Hyderabad. And then the asset is 0. Let's see what will happen. One row inserted. Why did not the check work? Now you tell me, why did not the check work? You see here. Though I have put a check constraint, it allowed me, to insert 0. Okay, here I have given greater than or equal to 0. So it works. Let me drop table and recreate it. I'm just trying to drop the same table and recreate it. But in here, I'm going to give a little bit different number. Let us say 5,000. Now I have created the table. Invalid character. Okay. The table got created. Now, friends, what if I insert data? A data that has asset as 0. Any guess? You see here? Check constraint violated. You can't insert 0 into this table. It will never permit you to make your balance 0. It's the same kind of situation. If you look into banking, your balance, if there is no balance, it cannot give you money. If you did not maintain the minimum balance, then it won't give you the money out. It can be a teller mission, it can be, the teller itself sitting, will explain you. You don't have balance in your account. This is what they mean by no balance in account. Because you did not reach the minimum limit that is required. But you have reached the minimum limit that is required. So check constraint is one of the very good constraints in database environment that can limit you by restricting you on the data. It's not about accessibility. It is about even the insertion and extraction of the data. It is more for the application to check your balance before it can give you some money. Because if the system is not smart enough to check, you can go to a bank and withdraw 50,000 with $0. So check constraints are very much important. What about the unique constraints? What does it mean by unique constraint? The name itself says unique A1, A2 to so on to AM. The unique specification states that the attribute should be from A1, A2, so on to AM for a candidate key. Candidate key is nothing but the primary key. Primary key will automatically be unique. But without primary key, can we make it as unique is the question. So if I define it as primary key, we are in good shape. Unique is always assumed in it, like our employee number. But I don't want to make it as a primary key. Still, can I make it as a unique key? Is that a possibility? The answer is yes. You can always build a unique key. For example, you see here. In here, you can always put employee name as unique key. Let me do it right away. You can say alter table emp add constraint unique on e-name. I am pretty sure the syntax might or might not work. I'm pretty sure I'm sure it's going to fail because it's been several years that I have written a SQL query. You see here, invalid alter. So if not alter, then we'll have to use modify. Alter table, add unique on e-name. Let's see if this works. I don't remember the syntax. Can anyone help me to get the syntax to add a unique key? So Google Mama will always help us in finding a syntax. That's the easiest and best one. So if I stop using SQL, that is what I I don't get benefited in a way, because you lose the capacity to remember the syntax. You see here. But for Oracle and SQL Server, they have real good support on the net. So order table, add constraint name, check followed by the column, and say disable or enable. So all I was doing a mistake was there is no on. I need to just give it in a bracket. Order table EMP, add unique. Order. Now, if you try to enter data into this particular table, where ename is the same name, for example, you see here, insert into EMP values of. So I have to show you also another way of writing insert. Let me show it right away. Let us say I don't want to insert values into all the columns. If I use this syntax, is it going to work? Let us say I wanted to write it like this. Will this work, guys? No one asked me this question, so I am trying to do it myself. You see here, not enough values. So you don't care if it is not enough values, you still want it to insert. How do you do it? Guess, guys, guess. Give some work to your left brain. You know, our left brain is connected to right hand and right brain is connected to left hand, and our creative thinking happens only in the left brain or right brain. Right brain. So people with left hand writing are supposed to be very creative. So are there anyone in the class who uses their left hand for writing? Are there any left-handers in the class? No one wants to tell it, or do I assume that every one of us are right-handed? Alrighty, people who already have SQL knowledge, be bold, be open to put any of your thoughts. I mean, there is nothing wrong in this session because this is a knowledge sharing session. I am not the commander in the army, commander in chief of the army. I am still learning. I am still learning, and every session I do, I learn something new. So in the same way, please, if at all you have a point, please share it. So when you have, what is it?
So what I'm trying to say is, I mean, at least if you are not inserting value for the other columns, it should be having some null or some space within the quotes.
Correct. If you don't want it to at least do that, there is also another way. Insert into EMP. You see here, you can always say E number, or what was the employee column? Employee number. Is it E number? EMP number. I think it was EMP number, comma E name. You see here. Now will it accept, guys? Yes, it does. You see here. You see here. It accepted my 4444 ABCD. The reason is I am telling it which column to insert, and I am giving the values. And in here, what we'll have to try is, actually we were trying to see if my unique constraint will work or not. Let me test it right away. I am changing the employee number, but I am giving the same name. You see here. Unique constraint violated. You cannot give the same name because I have applied a unique constraint. Isn't it fantastic? It is avoiding duplication. Data duplication is the biggest problem in a database. Here it is avoiding duplication. Alrighty. So if any question on that, please stop me, else I will proceed. Unique constraints. Check is also being demonstrated. Referential integrity is my favorite and the toughest concept to explain. How many of you have idea about referential integrity? What does it mean by reference? What is this referential integrity?
It's a kind of primary and foreign key relationship difference.
Yeah, right. It's a foreign key relationship. What does it mean by foreign key? You are right, absolutely right. It is a primary and foreign key relationship. But what is a foreign key? My friend Satya, integrity is if you have a primary key in one table, Nandakumar also told the same thing, but you use the right term. So a primary key in a table becomes a foreign key in the other table. The reason is, let us try doing the primary key here and the foreign key. We'll implement the referential integrities right away. Select star from DEPT. You see here. If there is no department 50, if now I am entering a department 50, data is getting in there. But I don't want it to happen. I don't want blank departments, which means I don't want employees to be hanging there without any department. They have to stay under a tree. If you say HR department, technical department, production, they will sit. If you say I don't have a department, where should they go and stand? It is like the same bathroom joke in the recent movie I watched. It's always there in every movie they show it. There is a toilet for he, there is a toilet for she. So employees without a department becomes an unknown candidate. Where should they go? It's the same way. So let us create a foreign key reference and see how it works. So first I am creating, a primary key here. So create, not create, alter table, add primary key, alter table, which table? You have to correct me guys. Alter DEPT. Add primary key. Right? On what? DEPT.
On employee.
No, this is department table. So this is our DEPT number. You see here. If I say alter command invalid, what is wrong in here? You are right, my friend. Though you chat with me, you always tell it right. Invalid department type, data type. So it says invalid data type. What should I do now? Table can have only one primary key. So there is already a primary key in it. Let us see which is the primary key. DESC, DEPT. Department number is not one. So which is already a primary key. Oh, it's already a primary key. All we need to do is add a foreign key there. Right now, if you look at the employee table, I can enter data as without any department. It is accepted. So let us create a foreign key on the employee table. So alter table EMP, add, correct me if I am wrong guys, spelling wise, foreign key for DEPT member. Will this work? Let's see, I am not sure. Invalid data type again. Missing keyword. Alter table EMP, add foreign key. Yes, my friend, you are right. I have to use a reference. So you tell me now, REFERENC, EMP dot, no. DEPT dot DEPT number. Will this work?
Yes.
Syntax wise, I'm not sure. Missing keyword again. Okay, let me not trouble too much on the syntax. We can always, take some help here. Here is a foreign key and primary key. So foreign key customer name, references customer. Okay. So correct the syntax, anyone? So it says I don't need to give like this. I can give like this. It says like this is the syntax. Let us try. Missing keyword. Anyone who can correct the syntax?
Sir, it's references of department numbers.
Okay, REFERENCE. Reference or references?
References.
Okay, let's try. DPT of DPT number. This is how it is, my friend. Is it?
Yes.
Invalid data type. This one I can fix it. Such a referential constraint already exists in the table.
Yes.
You know what would have happened?
So underscore
it already exists.
The foreign key.
No, it says I'm fine with the syntax. It says referential constraint already exists on the table. All we need to do is enable it. Alter table EMP enable enable constraint foreign key or enable all. Enable constraint. From this it is a little bit complex to enable a constraint because we have to go and retrieve the constraint name. Without knowing the constraint name, you cannot enable. But from PL/SQL developer, that's where people go into tools. We don't want it to suffer. We want it to make our work easy. Let me see. Let me show you. But SQL developer is not the best way to learn, any database. Use SQL Plus only, please. Okay, now let me go here and show you in Scott, in tables. My friend is already in a mood to sleep. I'm sorry, my friend. I will trouble you until tomorrow, and you are freed after that. So you'll see here. In the constraints, there is FK department number already there, but it is not enabled. According to me, it is not enabled. You see here, status is enabled, delete rule, no action. Wow, not deferable, validated. Oh wow, it is enabled as a foreign key. But still, let us try to insert data and see if it works. It should not work because the reference is enabled, but somehow it is not accepting. Let's see. So in here, employee name and employee number, I'm again inserting something like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, let us say. You see, one row is getting created, which means I'm pretty sure the foreign key is not enabled. If it is enabled, unless you give a department number, it won't allow you to, add entries into it. So I'm damn sure there is some setting which is not enabled, whereas the primary key or foreign key is not enabled. That is the reason it is accepting. But when you enable both of them, we can enable it right now. Should not be a problem. again, how do you retrieve a DDL from SQL from? Any thoughts on that? How do you retrieve? Someone dropped off or joined back? Okay. So how do you retrieve a SQL statement or a DDL from database? Again, google.com. The best way to learn. You see here. So, you'll have to start using all of these options. Only then you'll understand how you can, get all this. You see here, dbms.getData. This is kind of an indirect way of doing it, but still it's fine. Unless it works, I'm okay. All I need to give is EMP. See here. Create table, Scott.emp, employee number 4, employee name, and it did not give everything, which means it just terminated the buffer space. So it is there is again a set command. There is a set command which can give it in a clear fashion. But this is a step query, dbms underscore metadata dot get underscore DDL followed by table and a table name from user. But it did not give the entire thing, so I don't remember the set command which can extend the space there. Let me try one more. Yeah, it could display only this much, but I have to think about what is a command that has it. But this is the way you can retrieve an SQL state. So let me retrieve it for DEPT. Wow, it says DEPT does not, stable not. Okay, so here it gives department number 20, department number of 2, 0, D name, where char, and the rest of the columns are not shown. But foreign key constraints, though I could not show this to you, but if we create right away one other table, we'll be able to, see it, which I will do it. I will do it, and I will only then pass on to the next one. But let us see. Referential integrity. Definition wise, it is create table account number, and it has a primary key for account number. Branch name is the foreign key, which is a reference from the branch table. Branch table would have already been created, and branch name is a foreign key. So only if the data is there in the branch table, you can enter it into the account table. And then create table depositor, customer name, character 20, account number 10. So let me do this. Let me create 2 tables right away. That makes it our life easier. And we can practically see that data cannot be entered when you have these key constraints properly in place. Let me do this. I will do it myself. That is easier. So there is a branch table. There is already a primary key. We already added it. So all I need to do is, you see here, this is the one I wanted to execute. So let me check one last time whether it is there on the branch name or something else. So branch name is being referenced to the primary key. So I wanted to see branch name is been set as a primary key. If I am not wrong, last week we did it. So if I am executing the other table, this is what I have to do. It is referencing branch name. So let me try to create it. Table created. Now, I'm looking at the description of whatever the table I have created. Description account. You see here. So account number, branch name, and balance. Balance is 15. Let me see if I enabled it or it is in the disable mode. That is very important. So I did not specify to enable or disable. So by default, it will be enabled. Now, I wanted to insert data into the account page. So let us start doing it. Insert into account. Values are account number. Let me give it an account number, whatever I wish to. Comma, branch name. Now, instead of SP Road, SD Road, SK Road, I wanted to give DK Road. DK Road, comma. The last thing is balance. 1,000. Let's see if it works. You see here, integrity constraint violation, parent key not found. Do you now agree the referential integrity is a very good option that we have to set in a database? Now you see here, if I change this from DK road to SK road, will it accept, guys? Do you think will it accept? Obviously. You see here, select start from branch. You have this and select start from account. You have this. So, without having a branch, if someone is trying to insert data into account table saying this account belongs to certain branch, it should not allow. It is a kind of a basic constraint that we have to, or check we have to put on the data. So, how do we automate it? Is by using a primary key and foreign key. Any questions on this, guys? No questions? Pin drop silence. So everyone got the knowledge about primary key, foreign key, 100%. Okay, let me check the entire class separately by their name. Satya, are we clear with foreign key and primary key? Perfect. Sam, how about you? Sam or Prabhakar, how about you? I don't know who joined as Sam. Sam will be our center head in India. So he would have logged in someone. So they are joining by his name. So Prabhakar, how about you? Do you understand the primary key, foreign key relationship? How about you, Nanda Kumar? Nanda Prasad, sir?
Yeah, it's good, Ganesh. I understand.
Lalita?
Yes, Ganesh.
Perfect. Then Ganapati Reddy? Is it clear for you how the primary and foreign key relationship?
Clear.
Fantastic. So let's go ahead and complete the rest of the 4 or 5 slides, and we should be on time. Don't worry about that I'm not going to ask you to stay longer hours. I know you all have to rush to a movie. There is a new movie released. Every one of us has to go to a movie. That is a very important thing for us. We can skip anything in life, but not the movie. I'm also a big movie fan. I watch almost all movies, irrespective who is the hero, who is the villain, or heroine. So this is primary key, foreign key. The very important thing now, authorization specifications in SQL. I have only 3 slides, guys. So we should be able to, complete this 3. And tomorrow it is going to be very specific about Oracle. Only Oracle. We will see all kinds of functions, all kinds of statements that we have in Oracle, and also how it differentiates from SQL. So the last topic for today will be authorization specification in SQL. What does it mean? Just looking at the statement as authorization, can anyone tell me what is your expectation? What kind of an authorization you mean?
Table level
Okay. What was it?
It's a table level authorization.
You are right. Table level authorization. What does you mean by authorizing?
Yeah.
Table level is right.
Is it like giving access, complete access for using a table, adding, deleting?
Correct. You are right. 100% right, Lali. But let me ask you one more extra question. If let us say I have a table wherein I am storing all my records, I have given access to Lalita, full access. Tomorrow I and Lalita are going to fight for sure due to some reason. So Lalita will go and delete the data from my table. So is that a good idea to give access to Lalita?
Maybe you are restricting to delete without deleting.
You are right. You can always restrict. You can give only select rights to Lalita. We might quarrel. I and Nandakumar might quarrel. This is always happening in a company. We take business as personal. So you don't want it to screw up others' lives. So generally, you are not given in a production environment. You will be never given a full access. Which means, let us start creating this. I'm creating a user here. Create user Nandakumar. Identified by, I'm giving you a password, my friend. Let us say welcome C9C. Invalid option. All right, because there should not be space in the username. You know, that's a basic rule violation. Insufficient privileges. Because I logged in as Scott and Tiger. Scott does not have permission. So let me quickly connect as DBA. Okay, or else connect as DS underscore staging. This user, I think I know. It is welcome C9C at ORC. So let's see. No. So the easiest and the best way is log off or exit. And now I will log in back as a DBA myself. Guys, one of your mic is on. Could you please turn it off so that I don't hear the honking noise there? Yes, my friend, I am logging in as SysDBA now. So, connect as SysDBA. Password, I don't remember. So, I will use the other one. No worries. ORCL. Yeah, no password, you are right, but I would have, modified it. I would have put in password, so it's not allowing me. That's fine. By default, Oracle gives an account where you don't have a password, but I have set a password, and I don't remember the password for the DB. I have to look at, my help file in order to get that, but DS staging is also one of the DBAs. Cannot specify. Fantastic. Okay, let me try one more. One last time. DS underscore staging, and then let me see if I'm lucky. No, it's not allowing me. Shiva, my friend, can you share me the password? I don't remember the password. That is why it's failing completely. So I remember I don't need to specify in single quotes. This is the one I remember it as, but it's not allowing me. So let's see why is it not allowing. CNS could not resolve the connect identifier specified. I'm thinking someone would have, switched off my server because there is another administrator working on it. I'm thinking so that's the reason. But let me try the Scott Tiger. If Scott Tiger is logging in, everything else should log in. So I do have another way of getting into the system and doing it, but let me try it. So Oracle is not working for me. Shiva, could you please check with Govind if he's trying to shut down any of those services there, because we are all using the same server. So am I on my local computer and doing it is also a question mark. Hold on. Sometimes I always do that. So I'm not on a local machine. I'm still in the remote. And CND SQL plus Scott/Tiger @ORCL. And why is it not working? Oh, I got it. It could have been I was trying on my local system or something would have happened. Connect as we are no longer connected to Oracle. Okay. So create user identified by Isha or Kumar. Identified by is nothing else, it's your password. Okay, not connected to Oracle. It says the same thing again and again. So let me No, I am not on local machine. It is right now I am on am I on my local machine? I don't think. No, my friend, I am on the remote server itself. Remote server is not the problem. I could not connect to DS staging environment because DS staging also has a rights as a DBA, and I don't remember the original DBA password. If at all you have, please share it to me. Sorry for the trouble, folks, that I could not get in as a DBA. The admin rights are being used by other system administrator. So we have a little trouble here. So let's fix it. Okay. Let me not worry about connecting as a DBA, but what I can tell you is, Shiva, can you ask or Srinu, if you are there, please ask Govind to give me rights for 5 minutes. I should be able to create a user and then log. Just 5 minutes. It will not take more than that. It's becoming a challenge for me because he's working on the other side. Ask him. It's only 5 minutes. So all I have to do is, where is my SQL developer? Here. Quick, fast, run. I have to create a user. Do it right now. Oh, I tried welcoming my friend. It's not working. So I'm creating user right away. And then new password. Kumar. Default table space. We say users. Don't worry about all these table spaces and all. Password not met. Okay, user created. Now there is only a user. He doesn't have any permissions. I haven't given him any permissions there. So I have to grant permissions in order for him, to get onto any tables. Which means, you see here, I have created a user. I'm closing the session there. Yeah, he is good enough. He can. I have to give him connect right there. I did not do that. One more second, my friend. I know I'm disturbing his work, but still, bear with me. Just a minute there. So after you create a user, you have to specify his connect rights. Only then he'll be able to log in. So I have created Nanda here. So I have to go and edit the user, give him some roles and connect rights. So don't worry about these rights and it's a DBA task. Here I am trying to wear multiple caps and do everything myself because I don't have a DBA here. So all I need to do is I have to give him connect rights. Okay, now he should be able to connect. Let me try it before I log off from that machine. So it's MANDHA/KUMAR Nandakumar at. Fantastic, I got connected. So I can disconnect from. Okay. See, I have given rights to Nandakumar to connect, but can he select the data from Scott is the question. See here, select star from Scott.emp. You see here, table or view does not exist. In general, it has to give you, you don't have permissions. It's giving table or view does not exist as Scott.emp. But let us try, if not EMP, let us try DEP. You see, it's not accepted. Now what should I do? I have to give him privileges. Privileges should be given to him in order to access any table that is owned by a different person. That is what we are talking about authorizing. So I can give, read-only permissions, writable permissions, there are several. Let us look through the presentation. Authorization specification in SQL. The grant statement is used to confer authorization grant privileges on a table or a view to a user list. You can give it to any number of users or to public, which allows all valid users the privilege grant. A role. Okay. There is no chapter 8 for us. Okay. Granting a privilege. You see here, granting a privilege on a view does not imply granting a privilege on the underlying relation. The grantor of the privilege must already hold the privilege on the specified item or the database administrator. So if you look at it, the underlying table should have permissions. I mean, the user should have permissions to the underlying table of a view. Only then he can insert data or select data from that view. So how do you give permission? It is grant, select on, branch to U1, U2, U3 kind of thing. I mean, all the tables, whatever the tables you wanted to list, you can always do it. So I have to go back here in order to, give permissions. I can log in as Scott and then do it. Let me try to log in as Scott. But I don't know what are the permissions that Scott has. Sometimes you don't have the permissions to go, touch all this. Let us try it. Because it's his own table, he should be able to do it. Okay, I logged in back as Scott. Now I will say grant select on. Scott Tiger is also not working. Fantastic. What has happened to it? Let me try the CMD. I should be able to get in. The network seems to be a little bit slow. It was working fine so far, and suddenly it died. That's where I'm wondering what would have happened. j/AUMAR@ORCL. This even works good, but now, I'm able to connect to Nanda, but not to Scott Tiger. That's actually funny, because both are the same database. That's actually weird that I'm able to connect as Nanda but not as ORCL. Okay, finally I got it. So here I'm giving grand select on EMP. I think there is syntax wise there is two. I'm right. So I have to just go back to NANDHA, Nanda. You see here. Okay, it's not grand, it's grand. I'm sorry. You see here, grand succeeded. Now I will exit from here and log in as Nanda. Nanda/Kumar@ORCL. NANDHA/KUMAR@ORCL. So my friend, I'm using your name all the time, just that it's easy, and he's my favorite actor, Prakash Raj. Nanda in a movie is a very fancy name for him, which is, I like the power in the name. So let me see if I could get access to the EMP table, if not anything else. You see here. Fantastic. Now my Nanda Kumar is able to, access the table. So because he can select, can he insert, can he delete? Let us try it out. delete from Scott.emp. You see here. Insertion privileges. Can he insert? Insert into EMP values. So let me give just a couple of columns, which is EMP number, comma ename. You see here, and then followed by its values. EMP number, let us make it as 1111, comma, ename as Pragati in single quotes, no syntax errors, and then I'm closing it. Okay. Table of view does not exist again. Okay. This is just because I did not mention Scott. I have to mention Scott because I need to get a privilege error. You see here, insufficient privileges. So you can grant permissions only to select data or delete data or insert data. You can restrict him on whatever the way you want. That is the good quality of a database system. If you are giving a flat file, if you are giving him right, he can also do select and then copy somewhere and then edit. In the same way, you can always create another table, then do your own additions onto your own table, but you cannot, spoil anything in there. So all privileges use a shortcut form for the allowable privileges, which means if I go and give every privilege to him, let me exit and log in as SQL plus, and then log in as Scott/Tiger and the ORCL. Now you will see, I will say grant all to Nanda on EMP. So it's a reverse. Grant all on EMP to Nanda. That's how it is. There's a grammatical mistake there. You see here, grant succeeded. Now I exit again. I log in back as, I log in as Nanda. This is the same fight as Nanda and Badri, here Nanda and Scott. So assume Scott as Badri for some time. It's not allowing me to type anything. I'm just waiting on. It got hung. So when it is hung, the best thing is close it and open it again. Then it works. It's more or less like our brain. If it is not working, just take some rest and get back. It should work. So NDHA/KUMAR@ORCL. You see here? Oh, I did give a column, which is not required. I'm sorry, making you wait. I'm not sure what is the time. I'm also hungry here. So just give me a minute, guys. So now, if I select star from EMP, I can select it. In the same way, I wanted to insert. Let me see if that is in the buffer. Once you exit, nothing is in buffer. It's again a Gajni. Insert into EMP, EMP member, comma, ename, values. EMP number is 1111. Name is, Pragati. The table of view does not exist because I did not give Scott. Now everyone will understand what is the importance of the owner name. You have to specify an owner name. You see here, value 2 large. That's fine. I will make it short. Fantastic. The records are created now. Select star from EMP. Okay. Again, I have to give Scott.emp, but let me make set lines 200. Set pages 100. Now I go back, execute this query. You see here. Okay. You see here, Pragati is got inserted. We see the data there. Isn't it fantastic, guys? that we can control restrictions, apply restrictions on anything that we want. You see here, these are the grant permissions you have: grant, insert, update, delete, and all other privileges you can also give, which means there is a special privilege called truncate that is only given to, DBA level or power user, and then revoke. Right now I have given permissions to Scott, Nanda, to delete even Scott's table. But now I decided not to do it because I see Nanda is a villain. He is going to kill my Scott, the hero. So I can revoke. I can revoke the permissions anytime, but just giving a revoke statement. Revoke the same privileges, revoke all, the same user and the table name, it removes. It is as simple as you grant it, you can read. Then question hour, we almost reached the end of the session. So just spend 2 minutes in the question hour and you're good to go. I'm sorry I took an extra minute here because of technical delays here and there. In general, I time it very well. My PowerPoint along with my conversation, I rehearse so that I complete the syllabus as I wanted. But sorry, I took extra 10 minutes in there. Sorry if you missed the first song in the movie. Still, you can enjoy your movie. If you have any questions, go for it, else we'll discuss. Question hour, guys. No questions? No questions. Fantastic. Then, you can visit us on YouTube/Training Clouds. The last video, the last week videos are already uploaded on Training Clouds channel. They will be available for your access forever. You can view the videos any number of times you want. And then these are our contact numbers. If you have any questions, concerns that you can't reach to the database, please email us or please call us on our phone numbers. And then finally, end of the class. You can now jump. You can now walk out. Or you have more questions, you can stop to talk to the trainer. I will be here for next 5 minutes and you can actually shoot me your questions. Alrighty, how are we doing, folks? Let me do a roll call and see if there are anyone in the class who has questions. How are you doing, Ganapati Reddy? Any questions? Not interested in questioning?
No questions.
All right. How about you, Lalita?
No questions, sir.
Nanda Prasad?
I'm good, Ganesh. I have to practice.
Sure. That is the one thing which you'll have to do always. Only then you can, get it all easy. But in generic even, you can tell me, guys, do you feel uncomfortable in any part of the session, or is it okay going in a right pace that you can grasp it?
Yeah, it is clear, understandable for me.
Fantastic. And Satya wants to talk. Go ahead, Satya. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. It's okay.
Okay, Prabhakar, and I think Charita has joined as Sam. I noticed it. So if you have any questions, go for it. Else we call it a day. You have your wonderful afternoon, wonderful night. Catch you tomorrow. We'll be done with writing SQL. Without practicing, if you come back and say, hey, I attended your session and I end of the day, I know all the concepts. But if you don't write a SQL statement yourself, then I feel like you still have to spend 16 more hours in order to make sure that you understand SQL. So make sure that you spend some time to practice, guys. If you have any issues, contact me. We should be able to help you. Our lab coordinators will be there from morning 8 o'clock until night like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. So please feel free to contact us. I wish you a happy Saturday and see you on a Sunday.